You know hydrogen and oxygen?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Oxygen was asking hydrogen out for so long. And hydrogen kept saying no. And kept asking oxygen, why won't you go out with me? I'm sorry, I'm just not attracted to you. He just wouldn't take it. And later, the oxygen found out that the reason hydrogen is an attraction to oxygen is because hydrogen is a little fucking freaky.
Okay. Okay.
Do you know where I'm going?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I've been in this scenario. You know?
Tell me, I'll remember.
Yeah. I've been hydrogen before, you know.
Oh.
There's an oxygen at my job, Rick. And I'm always trying to, like, you know, toss out some hints and stuff and, like, kind of, like, you know, ask around. She's always like, no way.
Oh, then you're the oxygen.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, the oxygen wants the hydrogen, but the hydrogen is not attracted to the oxygen. So you've been the oxygen.
I wouldn't say she's not attracted to me.
Now, I'm not talking about your example. I'm sure that's not the case. Maybe there's a situation where is this person work? What is their position?
I mean, she's HR. So.
Okay, well, maybe she feels it's inappropriate to.
That's what she said. Yeah, that's what she said. But.
That's what she said.
Oh, God, I love Home Improvement. So I love when Home Improvement does those looks to camera. And it just kind of like, it does that.
But I want to keep hearing about what's going on at work.
Well, you know, she works in HR. She's always like, this is inappropriate. You know, I can't be talking to you like this.
What's an example of something you said that she thought was inappropriate?
Just like, I want to be with you for the rest of my life. You know, you're my everything. I can't stop thinking about
Sweet
you
things.
night and day. Sweet. I'd be a really sweet, Rick.
And she says, you can't say these things?
Yeah, she's like, what are you doing in my house kind of stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
You went to her house without being invited in.
Where else am I going to find her, Rick?
You know how in most movies, Dracula and vampires are sexy?
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Vampires have evolved to learn to be sexy to attract women. Now, let me tell you something.
Oh.
Not all women, but, you know, usually it's a hot guy is the vampire and they like a nice woman with a nice rack and a fat ass. But there's gay vampires and I'm sure there's women vampires, but blah, 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 blah. But what I'm saying is vampires have learned how to attract the opposite sex, sometimes even the same sex. And you know one of the things they've learned is it's actually a rule that a lot of people don't know, that vampires created this for them on purpose. A lot of people think it's an obstacle that vampires have. No. You know how a vampire can't come in unless they're invited? That's because they know a woman isn't going to be interested unless some part of her feels safe. So you're literally doing the opposite. There's a reason that vampires are hot and goblins are traditionally ugly. Traditionally, by human standards. So maybe you should not enter this woman's home and instead do what girls really like. And if you want, I could tell you.
Yeah, start a podcast.
Maybe. That's not what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if podcast hosts just
Then why
get
do
all
so
the
many
girls.
guys do that then?
I think that they have a voice and they need to be heard.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's not fur.
Okay.
Do you get it? Because of I'm Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fur.
He loved that. I love Charles Barkley.
Have you ever haunted him or done anything with him sexually?
Haunted him. You think I'm a ghost, Rick?
Goblins haunt.
Goblins don't haunt.
Goblins haunt.
What do you mean goblins haunt?
You ever been to a haunted house? They're not all ghosts. There's things that scare people. Like going into your HR person's house in the middle of the night, probably. Was it in the night?
It was dark out.
Yeah, during the nighttime. Now, did you knock on the door or did you try to go in without her knowing you were going in?
I didn't want her to know it was me.
Right, you snuck in.
Yeah.
During the nighttime.
But
you haunted her.
People love surprises. Like, have you ever seen anyone like at a sports game when the camera goes on them? That's a surprise. They freak out. They start dancing.
Yeah, but they've accepted to be there. There's a line between a surprise and a haunt. Now that's a bumper sticker.
Okay. So what you're saying is when you, Rick, if you just walked into a room and it just so happened to be right around your birthday.
Okay.
And a bunch of people, all your loved ones are there. And they go, surprise, you'd be like, oh, it's a haunted house.
Oh,
my gosh.
So what's
They're
the HR?
haunting me.
What's the HR woman's name again? Oh, you didn't say. You said your agent.
It's Caden.
Caden?
Caden.
So Caden was at nighttime when you went in, it was her birthday, and there was lots of other of her friends there. That's what you're saying?
This time in particular wasn't her birthday necessarily. No, it wasn't necessarily her birthday.
Were there other friends there?
I mean, why would I invite other friends there? It's like
That's a haunt. That's a haunt.
That's a haunt.
That's a haunt.
So I was haunting her.
You haunted her. Now, of course,
But that could be sexy.
It could be with consent. Something a 16-month-year-old boy can't give. You fuck this dog. He does not give consent. That's a haunt.
Yeah, I'm not going to fuck that dog, in case you're wondering.
Tony Danza.
Hell, I've got a dog, and he's my best friend. But I would never fuck my dog.
Do you know how JonMichael knew to put that in there? Because earlier I did. Cut back to that thing with that old Adam Ray sketch where he goes, "I'm Tony Danza, and I would never fuck your dog." And then the more you know, show that. That's communication between people.
Wow. This is so different than my podcast. I'm always like, Johannes, make sure you're cutting that thing. And he's like, okay, sure. And he doesn't do it.
Yeah, you're always mean to him.
I mean to him?
Mm-hmm.
He's my producer. And he's not like producing.
Then
Rick.
why do you? He's obviously offering you something. Otherwise, you'd fire him.
Well, I mean, I tried to fire him and he was like, you haven't hired me. I don't.
So he's working
paid.
for you for free. So you speak poorly to him and you're not paying him.
No, it's called something though. He gets like a credit or something. Or
Oh, he's like an intern?
Yeah, he's an intern.
So he's in school?
no, but I'm giving him credit. Like if you look at the credits, like it says like starring John Goblikon, like also follow Nekrogoblikon, and then it says like, you know, some other dudes like Brendan and David, idiots and blah 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 blah. There's like a bunch of other people, and then it's like cameras brought to you by da-da-da. At the very, very, very bottom, it says, yeah, Johannes is here. So he gets credit. He gets credit, Rick. I give him credit.
I'm seeing him as a goblin. I'm seeing you as a goblin. And I'm like, remember, like, oh, you're just like a little baby.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have a rational conversation with you.
And I'm like, oh, and this is just a guy. He's not a comedian. He's not funny. You know, I'm just like, it's just a guy.
I feel like what you're saying, like are you being mean right now?
Mean? No, I'm not being mean. I think we're just connecting. We're like realizing like, oh, I'm talking to a goblin. I'm just talking to a guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when I noticed that when I realized my parents, that's just a guy and a girl. Like that's just like you think of them as these, at least
No.
your adopted parents. Did you look up to them? I did. I loved my parents growing up, but I thought
I love your parents too.
What about your parents? Right.
Yeah, me and my dad had a good relationship. I don't really remember if I had a relationship with my mother, you know?
Did she pass or leave?
I believe she passed. Yeah, she did. She passed one time. She kind of like walked in, she passed by and she walked out. Yeah, she passed.
Got it. And then she never came back.
No, Rick.
How old were you? I mean, from what your birth certificate says.
I mean, I feel like I was, you know, in my adolescent gob era, you know?
Wow. I'm sorry. That sounds really, really tough.
It's fine, Rick. Like, I really don't care. Like, I'm not concerned with it, and it hasn't affected me at all. So.
Question.
Yeah.
The PR woman's name again. I'm horrible with names.
Mom.
What was her name?
Mom?
When you were breaking and haunting that woman,
Yeah.
what were you wanting from her? I was thinking originally a date, but now maybe something different.
No, I just wanted, like, I don't know what you call it. Like, you know what I mean? When you're having a hard day, you you call up a lady and you kind of like connect with her, and then you're kind of like
A mom.
I don't know what it's called, but it's like just like a lady. I just want to like kind of talk to her, be like, here are my problems, and then she like guides me. Oh, that's it. Yeah, she kind of like guides me and kind of shapes me, and kind of goes, here, this is the direction you should go, and then I take the advice, and then I do something, like something good happens in my life, which could happen at some point, something good will happen, and I tell that lady. And then she's like, I'm like, proud. I'm proud of you, John.
A mom to tell you she's proud.
Kaden. Her name's Kaden. Rick. It's a lady, and
She reminds you of your mother.
I mean, they share a few qualities.
This woman reminds you of your mother. You long for a mother.
I mean, I would like a...
Have you ever been with a woman?
Me?
Yes.
In a room?
Sexually, have you ever made love to a woman?
Well, I mean, I mean, like, there's been like, like, I'm a rock star, sometimes it's like, whoa, all right, one at a time.
So yes.
What's that?
You've been sexual with a woman. Have you ever been inside of a woman?
I mean, like, I feel like sometimes I connect with someone so deep that I am like, I do go inside them, like I feel like that's an empath thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, for sure, and for sure.
Have you ever spilled your water into another woman?
Spilled my drink on a woman before. I do that at
Or
work.
water?
Water, yeah, probably. I don't drink a ton of water, but yeah, I'm sure there's been like
Your water
LaCroix
come?
or something. What's up?
Your water come.
Oh, right.
Have you ever watered into another woman? That's okay.
Is it, Rick?
Do you want to?
I mean, with the right one. I mean, if it's the right one.
Do you want to be with a woman in that way?
Yes, and?
I'd like to take you to a whorehouse. And I'd like to watch you get fucked.
A horror house? Is someone to haunt it?
WHORRERHOUSE. Where scary creatures will have sex with you for money. I want to take you there.
Oh, I've been to one of those, Rick. Yeah, I've been to one of those.
Can I tell you a secret?
Sure. Can I ask you a question?
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah.